people who may not be improv trained have a tendency to come into conversations with an agenda. They want to get something across. They're not very malleable.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Pineapple Improv Show. I'm your host, Mike Brown, and this is your co-host, Brazos the Cat. Today, our topic of conversation is relationships, building better relationships at work. Here with me today is a very good friend of mine, Jordan Freed, coming all the way from Rutherford, New Jersey. Jordan, how the heck are you today?
I'm doing good. Yeah, it's great to be here, Mike. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for having us. Now, Jordan, before we get into your work life, who you are, what it is that you do, I understand that you have a stand-up special out on all audio streaming platforms right now, and the name of it is When the Edibles Hit. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, When the Edible Hits is kind of the amalgamation of all of the stand-up comedy that I've been working on for the past 12 years. And the audio is out now, and the video should be coming out sometime in 2025. So definitely look for that.
And for anyone who's interested in listening or seeing any of Jordan's comedy special, definitely visit the links down below. Jordan, kind of moving away from the album, can you tell us a little bit about where you work, what it is that you do? What is your day job like?
So I'm the operations manager at the Williams Center in Rutherford, New Jersey. It's a 102, about to be 103-year-old art center, and my job at as the operations manager is I manage volunteers. I deal with the cleaning crew, the security crews. I help manage events and just make sure day-to-day operations go smoothly. And in general, it's just a customer service facing position outside of all those other responsibilities.
So it doesn't sound like you're a very busy person.
I'm busy about 6.5 days a week. I have a little bit of free time, about half a day a week.
Half a day a week. That's more than most people get. Uh, Jordan, can you tell us a little bit about how important it is for you to build and establish relationships with the people, A, the people that you work with, and then B, the public in general?
Yeah, so relationships are everything for my job because I manage staffs. I deal with artists on a regular basis. And then I'm also a salesperson as well. And then there's also patrons who come into the building. And my job is always to kind of be that magic box where somebody says something to me and I have to immediately figure out how I can help them. What is my value to the situation? What do they want from me and the center? So a lot of times I'm making very quick assumptions with people's personalities, and I'm also juggling many different personalities. Like being an operations manager at an art center, there are a lot of different, obscure, out there personalities sometimes. So figuring out how to get teams to work together and keep people from stepping on each other's toes and also motivating people is one of the biggest challenges of my job.
What is it about the skills and techniques of improvisation that have aided you in creating these environments as an operational director?
For sure. So for anybody who's ever done improv before or experimented with games or classes, uh, you are in control in the fact that you get to say your lines in the scene and you get to make your actions in the scene, but everything else is out of your control. Your scene partner can come up and say literally anything they want as long as it makes sense to what was said before. So I think that built a skill inside of me where I don't expect to be in control of every situation. I'm really taking everybody as they're talking to me and I am analyzing what they're saying as it's coming in without my preconceived notion about what I'm trying to force on them. Which, if you're an improviser, it's all about the collective and it's all about working with others. It doesn't matter if you have a great idea if you can't get the rest of the team to be on board with that idea. So that is a huge thing, is just being open, being a good listener Improv is all about listening to what was said directly before. So that's very important for workplaces because I know people who may not be improv trained have a tendency to come into conversations with an agenda. They want to get something across. They're not very malleable. But if you want to have real growth, you have to be open to what the person across from you is giving you and be open to change directions and change your idea of what you're trying to achieve, no matter what the situation is.
I wonder if you would be down to play a little improv game with me. It's called It's Tuesday. Here's how it works. You and I will basically mock a scene together where I will approach you and then eventually you will approach me and just say, It's Tuesday. But now here's the trick. Every single time that I approach you or you approach me with the words, It's Tuesday, I want us to attach those words with an emotion like happiness, sadness, fear, anger, something in through there, and then we can label why you are feeling that emotion. Does it make sense? Do you want to play?
Sounds good. Let's play.
All right, cool. So I'll just kick it off. Jordan, I'm going to approach you and say, "Oh, it's Tuesday."
Yes, it is Tuesday, and you are contemplative because you have a big party coming up this weekend, and you're hoping that people are going to show up to it.
Excellent, fantastic. Now it's your turn.
It's Tuesday.
Oh, it is Tuesday, and you are excited because today is the day that you get to buy your brand new car. Hey, Jordan, it's it's Tuesday.
Yes, it is Tuesday, and you're fearful because you are stuck in a cave.
It's a pretty dark cave. All right, one last one.
It's Tuesday?
Yes, it is Tuesday, and you're surprised because you thought today was Friday, the day of the big fight. Awesome, cool,
Right on.
excellent. Jordan, thank you so much for playing that with me. It's Tuesday is one of those improv exercises that it kind of helps us lean into emotion. And again, kind of as I was alluding to earlier, I feel like understanding emotion is a real key, not just understanding emotion, but also understanding the motivation for that emotion is a real big key in helping us understand where people are coming from. And when we understand where people are coming from, we get to build those relationship building blocks just a little bit better. Do you have any thoughts on It's Tuesday and why this is a very important improv technique that we use?
Oh, it's super important in my day-to-day life because if I'm dealing with contracts or I'm dealing with outside businesses trying to come in and use our space or something like that, I have to try to fill in the blanks and figure out why they feel a certain way about a situation. If they're disappointed, I have to try to get into their perspective and see why are they disappointed. Like I'm here all the time, but they're just coming in one day. What is their perspective on the world? To my knowledge, that would make them feel this way. Lastly, I may come into work and I may be upset. I may be not having a great day. I may be stressed about things in my outside life, as one may be when they work a lot. But improv also teaches you to kind of turn on a dime and get your body to emotionally be in the state that you want to be. So being able to switch your emotions on a dime and really be the right emotions for situations is huge because a lot of people can't hide their emotions. We try as best as we can to hide our emotions, but believing it and playing a role is huge. And improv teaches you to play that role.
Now, I've also noticed that in building these relationships, sometimes people will imply something of what they're meaning, but it isn't explicitly said. One of the other things that I love about It's Tuesday is that it puts you in the habit of labeling what you believe or what you understand that thing to be. Sometimes I might come in with, It's Tuesday. You might see that as confusion, but I might see that as trying to understand what is happening. So while those two different things might be two different sides of the same coin, having that explicit labeling helps us to understand what the other person is getting at or what they mean by a certain thing. Our time is starting to wrap up a little bit, but I wanted to kick it to you one last time. Are there any last thoughts you'd like to leave us with in terms of building relationships with your coworkers?
Yeah, I think building relationships with your coworkers is always a changing situation. You always have to be ready for people to change. A lot of things happen to people outside of their jobs that change their perspective on life. A lot of interactions on the job change people's perspective on life. Also, another big thing is just status and creating status and like knowing what your status is expected to be in a situation. I think the big thing is just respecting people, whatever status they're at, but being very aware that if you're talking to somebody who's the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, they're going to want to talk a lot. They know what they want, and you have to accept that because that is the status, and I am low status in that situation. But if I have a DIY band coming in saying they want to play my space, I am now high status. You never embarrass somebody, but you have to be aware of these things. More often than not, you'll embarrass yourself if somebody is high status and you don't take the low status.
That is so much more than I ever could have hoped for. Insightful, uh, nuggets of wisdom and actual pearls that we can put to good use. And I love what you said about status too, because I feel like that's something that we don't talk enough about, both in improv, but also in the corporate sphere. Jordan, I want to thank you once again so much for being on the show today. Again, if you're interested in checking out Jordan's stand-up special, it's called When the Edible Hits. It's available on all audio streaming platforms, or if you just want to check out the links in the comments below, definitely do that. Again, folks, if you want to find any more information as to how to bring improv into your workplace, go ahead and visit pineappleimprov.com. The Pineapple Improv Show debuts on LinkedIn every Wednesday at noon Eastern Standard Time. And until then, have a great week. Bye, everyone.